No, he's got an agenda item. The privilege of the floor. Then we'll move on. We'll move to approve the minutes of July 12th. I didn't see anything either.
Well, I have a question. Line 128, I thought we agreed to leave the fireworks on the 4th. That statement implies that we were going to decide what to do, but I thought we said we were going to leave it on the 4th because if we changed it, we couldn't get back to the 4th.
Right. But I think that happened after the meeting.
Well, that happened after the
I
meeting.
think we found that out after
Okay,
the meeting.
that's fine.
Well,
we knew that at the meeting.
I think also the only reason it got tabled is that somebody was gonna check with the merchants and see if there had been any, awful effect. because
Oh,
we
okay,
had
so you
them
think
on
it's
Tuesday.
correct as it's written?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, then it is a follow-up item, you know.
So-
So did anybody check with the merchants?
I don't know if Chris did, I did not.
okay.
So I'll have to find out. It isn't anything we, but I
Right,
will,
It's imminent.
well,
But
yeah,
the other point that came up is that this is only going to happen every so many years. And to not lose.
Right, that was the thing was that we didn't want to lose the 4th
Right.
because we wouldn't be able to
Right.
get back on the 4th,
Yeah.
right?
input on the floor. So I will have that for the next meeting.
Okay.
There were a number of follow-up items. Do we want to go over those as old business or what?
Are they in old business?
They're not on the list, that's why I raised them.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Bill, I'm gonna have, the screen of your laptop either blocks out Mike or Margaret or both of them. Is it that would be perfect.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's easy to do.
Now, are we going to get a request from someone at home saying, pull the
Well-
screen back?
Well, then, we'll have to feel that when we get there.
All right, Bill, what did you have for
So
follow-up?
In the last discussion we got, there was a discussion about, is it necessary for us to test for PFOAs in the water? Remember that discussion? with,
That's right.
I thought
And we
resolved
said
that
we'd
table.
follow it, we'd just make sure, we were gonna check with the water consultant guy and see what he said. Did we do that?
No,
Alright, well, we ought to make a note, because
Yeah.
we need to get back to Barry.
Yeah. Yeah.
My other question is now, do we need to create an historical society?
I thought we did.
we did.
Well, no, we appointed her as interim chairman.
No, I thought,
We haven't
I thought we
actually-
appointed, we created it at the last meeting and appointed her the interim chair.
Right, but it's still
Okay.
the town meeting it'll still be a town meeting item.
Oh, I thought it was a
You
selectmen's
created the
meeting. Okay.
interim, no, you created the interim. And then we can put it on the town meeting
Okay.
warrant for next year.
And the last item I had that was a follow-up, what's the status of the cleanup of the trees in the Mad River?
We have not, asked DES to clean them up.
I think
As
I don't think DES is gonna clean them up. The question
No,
is,
no,
can will they give
whether
us
we-
permission for
that's
us to
right.
clean them up?
That's right,
Well,
we
I
have
don't
to
think we
ask.
should forget about that. I think it's a real danger, those trees sitting in that
Yeah.
river. We should ask DES now,
Yep.
before it goes on too long, can we get permission to get those out of there?
Have you seen them, Jim?
What?
You're talking about behind Bear Brothers?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the Mad
Yeah.
River, there are a couple of big trees
And
moved
some,
down.
there's one right behind
Concern
Larson's
is they're gonna go into the
Yes.
bridge
Yeah.
in the next big storm, and we ought to try to get them out of there before they go plowing into the bridge. I understand that the fish probably would not be happy with us moving them, but,
I have to speak for the fish.
well, we could put them back to where they were. Maybe they'd be happy about that.
I'll have those
Okay.
under old business next meeting.
All right, very good. Those are the follow-up, those
All
are
right.
items were open questions in the
Yep.
minutes. I just want to make sure that we at least cover those. I'm fine, other than that, the minutes are fine.
Right.
All right, so we will move on to the.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay. Move to financial.
Yep, you have your report in the packet. I think we're doing pretty well. We are almost 63.5% through the year as of this week. Department revenues are shown there. We'll go over those more in detail with the 434 discussion. And our expenditures are doing fine. We're approximately 61% spent, so, and that includes scheduled payments on our debt service, which is a big part of the budget. So we're not, department by department, we're not really close to even the 60%, well, probably the 60% mark. So we're doing fine.
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
Recycling.
Recycling.
Why are we so far ahead of our budget on recycling?
Because it fluctuates. I think every quarter they give us new rates, and they just have
Oh, so
given us
it's a function of rate, it's not a function of
tonnage.
quantity. Okay, that was my question.
Yeah.
All right. Bill, anything on financials?
No.
No,
All right. Department heads. How about you, Jim?
I guess I'm the only one here. Let's see, Golden Heights and James Street have been completed.
Yeah.
Things went quite well. We are down, I think all three of you are aware that I am down an employee at the present time, so we're a little
Well,
short.
I'm now aware, right.
We are short-staffed. We had one employee
And he
leave
did
us.
a lot of the work, right?
He was, yeah, young bull, you know.
Mm.
So we are in the process of trying to find a replacement,
Okay.
and hopefully that will go well. And other than that, things are slowing down as far as mowing goes, and which is a good thing. It allows us to do a few other things that we haven't had a chance to get to as of yet.
Okay.
Unless you have any questions.
All right. Do we want to move to any of the old business that deals with Jim?
No, I think we can just go down the
Okay,
agenda if that's
fine.
all right with you.
All right. And any questions? Bill?
No.
Margaret?
No.
All right. Dave?
Hi.
Hi.
attending to
Quiet,
an injury in the parking lot.
Yes. So, just working through. I think been pretty mellow so far in the last few weeks. We think the 50th event and Comfort event went well. We're finalizing our IMC, our police records integration with Grafton County. We should be up and running live by the first of the month, which means all of our police data will now be shared along with Grafton County and vice versa, which is going to be really helpful for us for just getting broadening our records when you start looking at people and vehicles and that sort of thing. We just finalized our e-citation grant. That's for equipment that we can actually print tickets and electronically send traffic citations to the state, so we no longer have to mail them in.
How much is that?
It's about $900 for the equipment.
And is there an annual fee on that too?
Nope.
No software fee, no software updates?
Nope, it's all covered by our Grafton County contract.
Okay.
So the only thing that we had to do was to handle the installation, and Grafton County's going to do that for us. So
And is everyone going to have one of these, or is it just
yeah, it's all over the state. It's been in testing for about 2 years now. It gives us the ability to actually scan driver's licenses and registrations, and it automatically puts that information in for us, so we actually don't have to type it in. And it reduces the amount of time our motor vehicle stop actually being stopped on the side of the road, and it also takes some admin work away by electronically sending these directly to the state.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to meet with the schools, the academy, and the elementary school to work on their emergency procedures. That's typical for this time of year, gearing up, a lot of fire drills and that sort of thing. Get that calendar set. Been doing story times at the Curious George Cottage every Saturday mornings. Bringing a fire truck over there and meeting with the kids. Those seem to be going very well. I know Mark and I, we've been kicking around ideas with the Water damage downstairs, thinking of some ideas for some evidence room solutions. That room downstairs is certainly not ideal for storing evidence.
This
Okay.
past storm, we did lose evidence, so.
And that can be problematic with some of the current cases. We don't have anything in jeopardy, but a lot of the stone property management evidence that we have in there, which is quite substantial.
Mm-hmm.
We did lose some boxes there. I've just been in talk within the last week from the U.S. Attorney, and I just got the green light to
Throw it away.
get permission to dispose of it.
Yeah. All right.
So I need a judge to sign an order saying that we can, and then we'll go through the process of being able to get rid of a lot of that stuff. So the Citizens Academy, we haven't set the dates, but anticipate towards the end of September, early October time. Typically we do a 5-session, weekly session. Citizens Academy will start advertising for that and solicit people, and we're always trying to, again, look for new things that we can bring to the folks. It's usually very well attended, and we're always trying to change it up so we keep people's interest. And that's about it.
Good.
Questions?
No, I don't have anything.
Thank you very much.
Rec, Brooke was uncertain whether she'd be able to be here because of the trip today. The summer camp numbers, I just want to make sure you are okay with what I wrote in the memo.
The comparisons are to the multi-year average.
Yes, the bold
Okay.
numbers each month are to the multi-year average.
Okay.
The 241 number here and at the bottom of the right-hand column is a comparison 2016 to 2017. So that's just a one-year comparison. And like I pointed out in the memo, if you look at our multi-year average, here she is. There's a chair for you.
Yeah.
If you look at our multi-year average, we're actually ahead of the multi-year average, even being short the week. So we're 262 camper days ahead of the multi-year average for week 8, even though we've only had 7 weeks of camp. So it's a pretty good year considering
We've got
that the valley
this
seems
week,
to be
next
slow.
week to go.
This is the final week of traditional camp, and then next week is our trip and travel week.
Okay, right, and then we're done.
And then
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And votes?
Well, I ran a little report of boats, and it looks like overall we're down about $7,000 year to date.
Based on total revenue of what?
Well, that includes our cash.
55 is what we budgeted originally.
55, so we got 48.
Yeah, well, just year to date. So
Okay.
at this point, I mean, it may be made up or.
And have we been, on both of these things, have we been able to respond with staffing levels to measure it with the drop-off in rentals as well as campers?
You mean to adjust the staff so that
Right, have you been able to do anything like that?
Maybe with boating, I have been.
Yeah.
There's really nothing you can do for camp.
Okay.
Camps are up, Mike.
Camps are
not
up.
down.
It's just
Camps are up 262 people from the average.
yeah. So
They're down in
They're down
year
from
to
last
date
year.
They're down from
numbers.
last year.
That's
Yes.
right. So we're still
No,
having a good year.
I understand. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we're paying
Yeah.
attention to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and I also want to put in the record what a wonderful job Brooke and her staff did on the 50th anniversary party.
Yes,
That is
right.
great,
It's
Tim.
terrific.
thank you,
Yeah.
and thank you, Mike, for being there.
So now I got a follow-up question on the 50th anniversary thing. One, I'd like to see us institutionalized. I think we ought to do this every year. I really do. It added a little bit of excitement to an otherwise dull summer for many of the residents that come in here.
Like an old home day
Well, I
type
don't know.
celebration.
We'll
Yeah, no, I think
find
that's
out what we
something-
call it. My question is I don't know whether the sports center and Sean would view that kindly, or whether their reaction was, "I ain't doing that again. Are you kidding me?"
I don't think it was hard for the Rainey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that for Sean it was business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see what the
We ought to. I think we ought to talk to them, and I am of the mind that we should budget some money for those, for for just general welfare types of activities. There are an awful lot of non-property owners that were there. Well, they own property, but they're not residents,
Mm-hmm.
And we don't do very much for them, and I think that was a kind of terrific thing. And I
Okay,
think we ought to think about continuing it.
okay, we can.
Okay.
I also think, Mike, in addition to the rec department,
Yeah.
Sharon did 99%
the
of the
lion's
work
share.
here.
And you're giving her a roll of empty
I'm
paper
giving her
towels.
a roll of empty paper towels, but this
Big
is
paper towel.
this is print number 1 out of 100, and I just, on behalf of the town, Sharon, and for all your work in putting this together, I'd like to give this to you. It's Bertie's painting
Thank
print
you.
number 1.
So here's the
Deserve
question,
it.
Sharon.
Number
Since you
one.
did all the work, do you think it's something that we ought to think about continuing?
I'm sad to say I wasn't there
Yeah.
to be there.
Oh, the
that-
event
that,
was-
you know,
was
and
packed.
I've heard a lot
Yeah.
of wonderful things about it
Yeah.
from everybody that
Yeah.
had attended.
Yeah.
I think we could do it, and we could change up the formats for each
Sure,
year doing it.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
it
do
more of a
different
big
things.
potluck with grills, maybe supplant the WVAIA 4th of July thing with a
You-
town.
Well, I'm not trying to
day.
supplant them. I
No,
I
I'm
hope they continue to
Yeah.
do that. I mean, but I think I'm just looking for
But
more
maybe later in the season.
activities like that. Yeah, I thought the
I think
time
the
of the year
event
was
would
perfect.
be, the town would, if they're receptive to it this year on the 50th,
Yeah.
this kind of
No,
seeds
I
it for the
think-
future
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you could.
I agree with
do
you
it as a
100%. I think
yearly
people
event.
who feel they're not connected here, that are property owners, had a connection to this.
Yeah.
I thought it was so nice when Mike reminded everybody of, what's going on in town, and I thought it was super with Tim Smith giving us a little bit about the future and what's
Yeah.
going on. It was very well received, I
Yeah,
think.
you guys weren't there for my speech.
No, I had to take my little one home. Yeah.
I
Sorry,
wish
I
I had a
missed
little
that.
one to have taken home.
The speech was good.
Thank you.
I had to take him home before we started getting complaints about his behavior.
All right.
Right.
And you're getting ready for fall programming and all that stuff?
We are. Yes, we are. We're getting ready for the after school program and our fall foliage race, and we're still kind of focused on summer.
And you have the right staff to get through the fall?
Yes,
You have a nice
we
transition
do.
team? Excellent. And when does school start for the kids here?
August 28th, less than 2 weeks.
Wow. Summer is over. Boy, it
Summer
feels
is
like it
over.
today, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
No, it doesn't really feel like summer out there at all.
All right.
Good sleeping.
Any questions for Brooke? No?
No.
Thank you very much. Brooke.
Yes.
Good job. Calendar review. Anyone going anywhere?
I am.
All right.
I will be here from Labor Day through the 27th of September.
Okay. So
I
that's-
believe, let's see, we have to go into September.
What's the next?
The next meeting is September 13th. Right?
I definitely will not be here for the 27th.
Okay.
I think I will be here for the 13th.
Okay.
And you're back the 27th?
At night.
Okay, so you're not here for the
So-
27th, so maybe we'll have to move the 27th
Well, to move the 27th.
Right.
into October.
Well, you're going to have to move it a week later.
Oh,
right.
okay. You're
Yeah.
gone for a while?
Well, no. Well, I'm not back until that following Monday.
Oh, that's what I meant by
Yeah,
gone
the
for a while.
second. Right.
Okay.
So,
All right,
Okay. We'll see what
what that brings.
work, what activities are going on. In there.
okay.
So
Margaret, when do you go to
Labor Day to the 27th.
through the 27th?
Where you going?
Okay.
Italy.
Well, it should be nice.
All right. Good. All right.
All right, let's move on to new business. Let's talk about the cemetery regulations. Has everyone had a chance to read them?
I did.
Okay. Any comments
About the regulations?
and the changes?
I just
No.
had a question, a couple questions. One question is, there's been a change in how much it costs for cremated remains.
Well,
right? Or
I-
is
we
it
need
something
to-
new?
It's a new, and I wanted Mike to show us on the map because I didn't understand your email, Mike,
Alright.
about,
Well, we can discuss this. Ray can. What we did was we looked and Ray and I went while we were discussing this. We looked at the map and we were looking and talking about what's going on with more people being cremated than more people being full casket buried. So we're thinking there's this section here, which are lots. Ray, we have 1 through 19 over here in section 6. You see up top 6?
yeah, so all of
6.
these.
1 through 19, that's square here. None of these lots have been sold or reserved by anybody yet. So what we were thinking about doing is breaking these lots into halves and making these lots available instead of an 8 cremated remains, it's a 4 cremated for each one. Is that right, Ray?
Yep.
And
No,
what
there's 4 in each one, in each lot now, right?
There's 4 in each one, and you're saying to move it to 8.
well,
No. The lot would be 4x4 instead of 4x8.
Okay.
Yes,
So
right.
we move it to 2s.
So
And
you
you
move
could
it to
charge
2.
Oh, you can
But
get 2 remains.
Instead of having to buy a
remains.
4 remain lot, there'd be 2 remain lots.
Oh,
That way
okay.
you can, you know,
Gee, I don't know. If I was cremated,
Well-
I think I want more than 2 square feet.
no, you'd have 4x4.
He's
I don't
joking.
think you
Yeah.
care. You know?
So, I don't think you care. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah.
But I don't think you care.
Well, I guarantee you I'm not
Well,
gonna care.
what in
So I was thinking that no one is in that section yet. And reserved, that would be the easiest ones to subdivide. And make those two remain lots available instead of 4 remain lots at $600.
okay.
Why can't you just do it flexibly as you go along? I mean,
Well,
why
we-
would
we-
you reserve them?
Well, we just wanted to try it as an experiment.
Well, yeah, but basically, why it's people who've got a casket object to having an urn next to them?
I don't know, I haven't asked.
No,
But-
but now I understand which
Yeah.
I wasn't sure which row you were
Right.
in. If given the topography, these
Yeah.
rows 1 and 2
Mhm.
are really difficult lots
For
for
caskets?
the guys, right?
Okay.
And I suggest that all of the remaining in rows 1 and 2 be subdivided, and that we only have cremated
Remains there and you could buy
there,
2 lots
and
instead
then
of
you
a 4.
can lot
Does that
buy
work
the
for you,
2
Ray?
lot instead of 4.
What's that?
And we're talking about these lots here
Moving over to there.
at the south end of the cemetery, because the way the hill goes up, it's very difficult to get equipment up there and dig an actual grave for a casketed
It's
remains.
gonna be difficult to get the vault,
And the
Okay.
Right.
vault, get it up there.
All right.
because everything in there will be hand done.
Right.
There will be no machinery in there digging. It will be, everything is.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. Ray, you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So then if somebody wanted to be casketed up there, we tell them they have to go in and dig their own grave.
No,
That might
just
look
selling
good.
I'm in the grave.
casketed remains only in rows 3 to 7.
Okay.
So,
We're thinking of dying. We suggest you go out and dig your grave now.
so I'll make that
Okay.
change in here, and we can
That's
take that up
what we were
next
gearing
time.
for on that. Okay. And now the other thing is we were talking about the size of the plaque for the
Yes.
plaque wall. Did you bring the
I-
catalog up?
I do not have a catalog. We order them, I think, offline, Jim.
Typically
The-
through, what's the company's, down in Laconia?
Oh, Raven Awards and Gifts.
Yes.
Yes. And we're standardizing. We're trying to standardize on the 8x4 plaque,
Mhm.
and that's the one we've done probably the last 8 or 10 benches. When
Fine
we've
with me,
replaced them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, well, my question is, what information? Like,
Good.
we allow them a lot of flexibility on the benches, and I didn't know if you want only the names and date of death, or if you mind people putting. I mean, we can limit the number of lines that they put on it to 3 or 4.
Well, that's what we
But-
were going to discuss.
I
Well,
Yeah.
I guess my thought would be the names, the dates, and then the bottom lines, they could put whatever they wanted, but the top section should be formalized. I mean, that's my opinion.
The size of the plaque would essentially
Yeah.
limit the number of characters.
Right, it's not a lot.
Regardless,
So-
right?
Right, so I think, standardizing it either on 3 lines or 4 lines, so that the print is the same size.
Born, died is 2.
Name, born, died, and then there would either be 1 or 2 rows underneath that for
Personalization.
personalization, so.
I
guess
would
that's
say
the
that give them the you're allowed 4 lines, X number of characters, and let people do whatever they want.
That's
I
what
mean,
said too.
my reaction, I go into some old cemeteries. I love the stuff about
There's,
Yeah.
there's really good
Harry was a
Yeah.
real pain in the neck. We're glad he's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, the top,
I think the top line should be the name.
the name and the dates.
But
Yeah.
maybe they don't want the name.
If you don't want the
Yeah,
name,
they
you
want a
that.
nickname. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
Well, any kind of identifier. How's that? For the top line.
All right. Okay. Well,
Or Marguerite or whatever, right? I mean,
I'm-
so we're just giving them 4
Freedom of
lines.
speech.
and
Yes, they
can-
got 4 lines.
They got 4 lines and they can do what they want.
We would prefer if the top line's
Yeah.
an identifier.
okay.
Now,
Somebody took us to court. We're not going to win that argument
yes.
on the freedom of speech.
I had one other thing to ask about too. On number 11, when it says dogs, pets, and other domestic animals are not allowed in the cemetery, does that mean their remains are not allowed in the cemetery?
No, they're not supposed to go into the cemetery.
They're not supposed to walk
They're
through.
not supposed
They're
to
not
walk
supposed to
through.
walk
Are there
through?
remains allowed? That raises an interesting question. Can you inter the remains of your
Uh,
dog?
Only if they were a selectman.
I guess technically.
You're not gonna answer that.
I'm not gonna answer that today, because
No.
I gotta see if there are state, I don't think there are any state regulations, but I don't know that cemeteries.
Well, I mean, there are some people who would be
Typically-
happy to be buried with their dog, I
Right.
think.
Typically the dog would be a cremate, not a full
Right.
body burial. So there should be no difference between human remains.
Well,
and
I wouldn't
But
want to have let
sometimes-
people just buy a plot for the purpose of burying the dog.
No.
Right.
But if you wanted to have your dog interred with you, I don't see what the problem would be. You know?
No, I don't see that as a problem.
Right. I don't
Okay.
either. Okay. Well, that was just a clarification, because I thought it
Yes.
was a statement that said you didn't want pets walking through the cemetery, but then I didn't see anywhere about burying them.
Right. Okay,
I read
so,
it, I thought it was interred.
Huh?
I thought it was
Yeah.
interred.
the interior, no, the intent of that was walking through. So, I just, wanna clarify who can have a plaque on the rocks.
Okay.
Because this says, it says here that, you cannot be interred somewhere else. That the memorial marker is for,
Reserved for people that are buried in some other location.
no, it's
I thought
their
that's what it said.
ashes are spread,
Ashes,
where does it say this? Yeah, here it is, it
line
is,
number.
Because the remains are
line
not
numbers
interred in
two-
Waterville Valley
that's
Cemetery.
right, no, or in any other
Or in
cemetery.
any
Or in
One
any-
on line 260 and 261 of the regulation.
Down the bottom.
And
Oh,
so
sorry,
I gotta open my thing here.
the yellow is an addition on lines 260 and 261.
Mhm.
Right now, the regulations say whose remains are not interred at the Waterville Valley
Oh, I
Cemetery.
misread that. I don't agree with that at all.
No.
Okay.
I think I think my rule of thumb would be, if you're not interred here, I mean, you can't have 2 memorials.
Right.
But if you're interred in another cemetery and that's what, you're allowed to at least get a plaque here saying, you're a nice
Second
guy.
home lover,
Right,
you know, or
right,
something,
right.
yeah.
I think it should be for scattered ashes or unburied ashes. Not for people who are buried in Massachusetts. I mean, it's like voting twice. Every time somebody's buried.
Well, but they have to meet the other criteria,
Yeah, they have to
right?
meet the
They
other
have to meet,
criteria,
so
being
they
a
had to been a
property
property
owner or-
owner
sure.
or an employee.
But it would be for scattered or unburied ashes.
Yeah, but I think
No,
there
no,
are
but
too
we're
many
talking
cases
a common
where,
memorial marker, we're not talking
I'm talking about the plaques.
the,
Yeah.
yeah, the plaques.
So you got somebody who was a selectman in Waterville Valley for 20 years.
Right, and he
and
gets
they
buried with
retired
his
to
wife. It
Florida,
goes
and
in the
they're
family
buried in
plot.
Florida, and their family wants to put a plaque up on the memorial. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't think that's right.
In that context, I agree with you, Margaret.
What would be the difference then if that person who was the selectman that Margaret just did had their ashes spread at sea, because they like boating, then they can get a,
Right, scattered or unburied ashes. But if you got a memorial someplace else, you got your memorial.
well, I think the benefit of the wall is for people that are alive that are walking through and looking at all the people who used to be here. And so I think, I respectfully kind of disagree with you, Ray.
Okay.
I think it'd be nice to have, I think it'd be a chance to get recognized. Yeah,
okay,
if you
so,
want to do it, they got to pay for it, right?
yeah, so I'll take out the or
No, I think we can vote on that.
any other cemetery, no, I know, but that's what I'm.
All right, anything else on this? Anyone has a question?
Well, Ray, I didn't give him comments. My understanding is you don't like the wall.
No, I was the one who suggested it.
You don't like the rocks.
You don't like the rocks.
That's a whole different subject, which we can get.
Well, it's not. I want to make sure that that I think he's subjecting to the fact
I think
that
he's
we got the
objecting to
rocks.
but no, that someone can have two memorials. It can
No,
be
no,
memorialized
no,
as-
no, no, no. I think a separate issue is he doesn't like the rocks.
No,
So I
that's
want to
got
make
nothing to
sure
do-
that we come back and review that.
We haven't gotten to the rocks
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't
Okay,
got this.
all right,
We're
fair
still-
enough.
We're
We're
still
on
talking about.
eligibility for the plaque.
Okay,
No, I see your point, but I also see Margaret's point, because I think that by keeping the same, I thought this is my thought, maybe I was wrong with this thought, that the eligibility for the plaques was a lot less than the eligibility for
no,
burials.
it's just as strict.
So if we keep the eligibility as strict, then it's not, we're not gonna get everybody in the world wanting to, who visited Waterville
Right.
Valley, wanting a plaque up here, or someone who had no connection to Waterville Valley and wanted their ashes scattered here, was never a property owner or worked for the town or was any, we're not gonna get that person. See, I thought we were gonna get that person before, that was my impression.
Still have to be eligible under the.
Right.
See, I thought we were expanding the eligibility.
But
by
people
having
only.
this.
I mean, if we were going to allow dogs in,
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna open
no
that door yet.
no dogs in a memorial plaque.
You can reference it in your in your lines,
And you're for
friend to
Right.
Guido, things like that. That would be all right.
That'd be
So-
okay. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
no,
based on what I've
Guido is
what
my dog.
I'm saying now, Ray, I don't have the objection that you have, as far as letting someone who was a former property owner who lived in Florida, or someone who was a former selectman who lived somewhere else, be memorialized on the wall.
Okay, so clearly you, all selectmen agree with that.
Okay, so I think we will proceed with that, Mark. Where we will
Okay.
eliminate. Is that okay with everybody else? Do we need to
Yeah,
vote
do
on
we
that?
need to vote on these today?
260, no, well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
gonna-
good.
All right, now we will move to the topic of the rocks. If there's nothing else in the written word that needs to be discussed.
Do we have a
Okay,
picture
before we
of
go
what the
to-
rocks look like?
Well, one of the things.
Before you go to the rocks,
All right.
in the preamble,
Yeah.
on lines, starting at line 102, I read this, and it's a little confusing, because I assume you're just gonna clean up the whole cemetery.
yes, we are.
Because it
That's
says in
part of it.
2002,
We changed it to
We changed it to 2017. I did,
but is one, let's see, is one the 2017
Here,
change?
on the new version. Did you see the new version?
Yeah,
It's yellow. It's changed.
so is number one?
Line 100.
line 100 says 2017 now instead of it says August 2017.
But line 104,
Oh.
is that a change from, Is that a change from 2002?
To do what? I'm sorry, Ray.
I'm confused with 104. It says to preserve space wild cemetery for future generations to encourage burial in cremated remains rather than casketed. That was a change from 2002, not 2017.
I understand. I will revise that to the bullets that we are doing this year. The three things that are there were the things that they did in 2002.
That's what I thought.
So the
So they
things
should
that we
come
are
out.
doing now are to standardize the memorial, the common marker, right? And to include the map in the regulations. You see, does everyone follow what Ray is saying?
Yeah.
These three
Yeah.
bullets are what they did in
Yeah.
2002.
The three bullets would come out
Yeah.
and add more bullets for 2017.
That's right, and we're adding the map and whatever else we end up doing.
Okay.
Okay,
Look at 99 too, see if
Yeah.
that's still applicable.
got it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought that was intended to be like a revision.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All set to go to the rocks?
We're all set to go to the rocks.
Oh.
Now,
One of the things that Ray and I were discussing is the rocks need to be elevated. And you and I spoke about putting the rocks into some kind of bed so they're raised.
Yes.
Could you enlighten us on that plan, please?
The plan as it stands right now is to install beds that are approximately 2 feet tall and place the rocks in those beds that are 2 feet tall, made out of pressure treated landscaping timbers. That is the plan as we speak. We were just
I think we did it the last time.
Yeah. we were going to start off with 2 rocks, and then there was going to be a granite marker with a plaque on it in between the 2 rocks, indicating what this area was all about. The
So
wording of which has not been worked out,
I have no.
and the size of which has not
All right,
exactly
this
been
is the
worked
first
out.
time hearing of the granite marker between the 2 rocks.
It's just an explanation.
No, I understand. I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea, but I wasn't aware of this. And so the 2 rocks can be
So it's
expanded.
gonna read something
Yes.
like, and
Well-
herein lies the cheap bastards who couldn't afford to buy a block.
Right. At the present time, we were planning on installing 2 rocks.
How are we going to do 4 rocks?
2 is.
No, we
What's this
actually,
I thought we were at 4.
we actually had brought that into the last meeting when we talked about, we had that picture the last time we talked about the common memorial marker.
I knew we were
I
talking
believe it
about
was in
raising.
June.
It's old
I
news
mean,
to
if
me.
if
Yeah.
you want any changes to that,
No,
now's the
it's
time
fine.
to
It's
do it.
fine. I didn't realize
Yeah.
we had it.
Like for example, wooden raised platforms, correct? All right. If you want them veneered in stone, or you want them looking anything else done any other way, then we kind of have to. I have to kind of plan on that.
I think the more natural, the better.
Yeah.
I think
It would be landscape 8
Yeah.
8 by 8.
Kinda like
You
a
could
mul- a
get
mulch
landscape
bed.
timbers though,
Yeah,
as
that's-
opposed to pressure, well, you'd have to be pressure treated.
be
But
like
you could,
railroad ties.
right, but
Well,
they do make you can buy logs that way, pressure treated in a lumber yard, because we had them when they built our house, they used some of them. Well, one or
I
the other. didn't make
understand the
any difference
guidance
to me,
is to make it look
Yeah.
as natural as
Nah,
possible.
yeah.
And we'll
I have a
try
timer
to.
up there. It's not going to matter either.
Right.
the other thing, I don't understand this.
All right, this-
Review.
This is the front view of the plaque thing. It's going to be up like that,
Yeah.
but slanted, kind
It's
of like
slanted.
a
podium.
A podium.
Yes.
So that you got that part of it.
Yeah, I can see that, but
Yeah, and these are the 2 boxes with the rocks. That's one rock. That's another rock.
And-
This is how the rocks are going to go in. This is looking
okay,
in from
yeah,
the
that one I
side,
can understand.
and that's the front of the rock.
Yeah, okay.
And so our idea is to place them so that we can add boxes
To
to
the
the
side,
side
yes.
the existing ones as the first 2 rocks fill up.
Yeah.
We can place another box on either side and continue with the rock garden.
No, I
Is
get
that-
you. Yeah, no,
And,
that's,
and I think we had initially talked about putting 4 rocks in there right away, but it will look very empty.
okay.
And I think that's why we settled on the 2 in the June meeting, when we discussed this.
Ray, does that answer the questions you had?
Yeah, except, I kind of did a layout of a couple of the rocks. They're not very big rocks.
No, they're not.
There's one rock that's like 54 by 36. And to back up a little bit, I think you need another marker, not just for the plaques for the people. You need a marker explaining what this is for.
And-
Well, that's
and
what this
that
is.
piece of
Between the
granite
two.
is. That's what the piece of granite is. It's gonna have a plaque on it explaining that
Oh,
it's
okay.
a common
Yeah.
memorial marker.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that'll be really
That'll be,
formal.
that'll be
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
But you're not gonna fit that many plaques on each rock. Like, for instance, I got one that's 44 by 24, which is kind of an average rock.
Yeah.
And it looks like you're gonna get 8 plaques on it, at 4 by 8.
And we may have to put additional rocks in there, but if we go larger, then we're talking about cranes, you gotta be
No, I
able to
know.
move them, so.
Are you gonna try to keep the rocks the same
We're
relative
gonna try to
size?
roughly keep them the same size.
Because you got one
And
that's
there are
54 by 36, which is a nice size. The others are kind of small.
For our equipment, it's pushing the limit. Number one, and
Yeah.
number two, to find something with a
Flat face.
fairly
Yeah.
flat face in which we can work with. Because to install these plaques, we're still going to have to grind down
Right.
bases on the rock, and
Yeah.
that's time consuming, very time consuming.
So you're gonna flatten the face?
We have to flatten the
To a
face in
degree,
order
we'll
to
fill the back into
adhere
the
the,
epoxy, I would
that's
assume.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so so we've addressed the rocks. Anything else we need to address on this? I have one question about the
You're-
Tom? I'm sorry.
My one question, since I'm probably the first one pushing on this.
Yeah.
I have the Pike's son is coming here on the 24th of September. I just need the plaque.
All right, why don't you meet with
Jim.
Sharon and Jim, and they can give you the catalog to pick it out.
Just need the plaque.
4x8,
4 by
right.
8.
We agree on the 4x8 so he could go ahead and have a plaque.
Right, and you can have dog biscuits on the side of it if
Just
you
so you
want.
don't freak out.
Right.
All I was going to put on it was in memory of Dave and Patty Pike. They brought energy and fun to the valley.
Right.
No
That's
dates.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think you're allowing people to do their own thing.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, now, one more question on the cemetery. Is the cemetery overly wet right now? Someone had made a comment, they went out to see Corcoran's grave and sunk in.
That was me. Went up to see Dave.
No, it was someone else, it wasn't you.
Yeah, I walked up to Daphne's grave and
It
it was bleeding
is.
water right out of the hill.
Mhm.
That's
So
a
there
wet-
are since we cut everything back,
Yeah.
this summer has been. There are areas up there that we can only weed whack at some summers. You can't
Okay.
run a mower.
Is there a way to dump some gravel in under some loam there to slow it down or something?
The,
Or are we in danger of a severe erosion or something happening to some of the graves up there?
I think there's actually a spring that is about halfway up in the rhododendrons, and there's that, and there is drainage pipes in the cemetery where they are.
we need to,
Let's
we
make
would
this a
need
priority
to-
of starting to look for this, because if we're going to, let's hope this doesn't become a bigger problem than it is now.
It's actually better than it
It's
has.
better than it has
Well,
been in
maybe this
5
year we're getting
years.
more traffic through the cemetery because of what's been going on.
But
I think what would be a calamity is if the whole thing slid down into
Yeah.
the river. And so we just need, from my perspective, we would need to make sure that in, the next 10-inch rainfall, we're not going to lose the cemetery or something. And as long as that's the case,
Yeah, I just wanted them to figure
you're
out what's
dead.
going on and what
Who
we can
cares
figure
if
out.
you get a little water running through your grave?
Well, I think the people below us, as they get visitors for dinner, might bother them.
I don't think we're at that point.
Well, there's
no,
nobody
we need to
living
fix
Just
it.
these people have mentioned
Yeah.
yeah,
And
need
and
to-
we actually 2 years ago talked about putting a French drain system at the top by the rhododendrons.
Yeah, maybe
We'll
that's,
have to coordinate that with the seniors because it's their land.
okay.
Yeah, you're going to be, it's gonna be
Well, we
an
have to,
undertaking.
yes, but we
Not
can't,
to-
we can't
not-
not do nothing. We have to
Right.
at least
Right.
find out what's going on
Sure.
and find a plan.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the DPW staffing update.
I just
Just
wanted.
to,
We've already,
Okay.
excuse me, I just thought of it just because of our last burial. Is there a need to put something into the regulations that states how the markers are to be placed?
The orientation.
The
of the
orientation
markers.
of the markers.
is there an issue with the orientation of the
Well,
workers?
people are asking to put them in different positions than they have in the past.
What kind of,
We have gone basically east-west with the markers, and a couple of
okay,
folks have
show
asked
me this
us.
on the plot.
So,
Okay,
so right now, the markers are oriented in this direction,
okay,
okay?
up and down,
Up and down
all right.
on the rows. Now people are asking to put them perpendicular to the rows.
So you'll only get
So you're only gonna
three
get three
markers
markers in
instead of the 4.
Instead of one, then tell them.
Oh, well, no, well, you can't, if we lose markers, then I think we ought to say, the markers have to be oriented for the, I don't know how you write the regulation, I mean, basically just say you gotta get the approval of the, location of the marker is via approval of the, I don't know, the town
Cemetery
cemetery
manager.
or whatever, yeah, the cemetery manager.
So if you're standing on an aisle in between the
Mhm.
rows and you look
Yes.
to your left, you can read the names. And
That's-
you look to your right, you can read the names.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, it's kind of like being in a supermarket as
Yeah.
opposed to being.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll figure out how to put that in.
Yes, I just give yourself the authority that you gotta get approved, that, location and orientation of the markers is via approval of the town manager or something, or the cemetery manager.
Okay. Now can we move on to the staffing update?
Yeah.
All right,
As I wrote in your packets, we've posted it, it's been in the penny saver twice.
thanks, Ray.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, Ray. And it's been in local newspapers. Did we get any additional applications today? As of yesterday, we had 8. So either. Okay. Okay, so we probably have around 10 applications right now, which is pretty good for this position, and Jim and I will be looking at those tomorrow or Friday.
All right, the always popular MS 434 form.
MS 434, you have all of the town revenues with recommended adjustments, either increasing or decreasing the
All right,
numbers.
let's quickly go through what we've got here for adjustments.
Yep.
All right, yield taxes, are the adjustments in pink, I would assume?
The decreases are in pink and the green is an increase.
increase. They're both
Okay.
ways, and net,
They go both ways. And net there's a $3,929
the
difference.
only ones
from
that
what we
I
told town.
wondered about was I noticed that we're adjusting the water, the sewage, the trash.
Yeah.
Those seem to me to be relatively predictable.
Well, it's because of the commercial billings are based on usage and we're
okay.
down
Oh,
slightly.
we're down slightly,
Or up
okay,
slightly,
fine.
so
all
Yeah.
right.
so we're just making
So
minor
it's the
adjustments.
commercial that's
Yeah.
changed. All right, that's fine. Now I looked at them and like rec, there's a lot of ups and downs, and my reaction is in net total, I think it's down about 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to, and I think what we're doing is just fine tuning numbers.
Right.
That's all
Right.
right with me.
Not, I didn't see a problem
Are you okay, Marty?
with that. All right, we'll move on.
But I did have the question in association with that can we send a letter to Department of Revenue Administration requesting to take Article 12 out of the appropriation,
Sure,
Which is the our town
which
grant?
is the
Yes.
our town grant.
absolutely.
Yeah, same as last year. So I'll send that letter and we'll see what they say.
Good. All right.
Excellent.
Acceptance of unanticipated funds.
Yep, we have two sources of unanticipated funds. The first one is we received the check for the insurance claim for the downstairs meeting
Right.
room, and I'd like to apply that to the buildings and grounds maintenance line,
Okay.
because that's where we're gonna pay for.
And we can do that.
Yes, you can.
And we took the 1,000 out of that to pay the deductible.
That's
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, they took 1,000 out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right, and the Primex.
Oh, that is the Primex. The 3,806.
Same
So
thing.
could I get a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion to accept the check from Primex for $3,865.44 to be applied to our buildings and grounds account.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And then we have a unanticipated check from the state of New Hampshire, $11,246.
We pass go, huh?
It is a $38 million amount that was divided up among all the communities in the state as additional highway block grant monies.
We only get
It's a-
$11,000.
Well, we only get 12,000, so it basically doubled our highway block grant money for 2017.
Were we anticipating highway block money?
No.
We do, yes.
And
If
where-
you look here, we had originally budgeted,
6,000,
nope, $13,169.
and we got 11,246.
No,
In
we're gonna
addition
get,
to-
we're gonna get a total of 24,415.
Why are we getting this? Because it was a surplus.
Because there was some kind of surplus
They
at the
passed the
state
bill.
level, and they
Right.
passed a bill to give us additional infrastructure
Okay.
money.
And what do you intend on doing with this money?
Well, my suggestion, recommendation in the memo is to go back to the Greeley Hill project, which I understand you did a reduced option, and with the intent to go back next year, and do the rest of the project, if you will, next year. This
So
money
do the patch
combined-
now and then finish the project next year?
Right, and I'm recommending not to do that, I'm recommending to
Do
do
the whole
the
thing?
whole thing this year. And as I wrote in here, we have the $11,000. If you remember, option one to
Right,
fix
yeah.
the entire road was $25,500.
No, option one is only fixing the old paved section of the road, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's not fixing, my concern is, and why we talked about this last time, what are we doing with all of the road that runs for a quarter of a mile up the hill? It's dirt.
The section of road from where we would stop paving,
Yeah.
right, which is where the fire hydrant is, to the last driveway, just
Yeah.
past the last driveway, is 414.
400
Whatever it is, yeah.
408
Yeah.
Okay, so we
But
did,
at one time, that was paved.
no, that has never been paved.
Well, there's pavement in it, but it's all chewed up.
Oh, I was mistaken.
Are you trying to
I'm
run
trying
Peter
to get
Clark's
the
house?
history. I understood
Yeah,
that pavement was torn
Since
off.
I've been here, that has been a dirt road.
That seems to be.
Well,
I
it's-
drive it a lot because it's torn up pavement. There's some paver on that.
To the fire hydrant, up
To
to
the
the
fire
house, up to the house that was moved back.
Adams.
Right.
Adams.
So you're right, Bill. The first part of that road was paved.
The first part
of it,
is
absolutely.
paved.
Right.
There's no
and
question.
then up to
But-
the old Lorenz house, it was not paved above.
The
You mean above the Lorenz house has never been paved?
Right.
well, it had farmers next to it, which is
Here's my concern is, if I were a resident up there,
Yeah.
I would want to know, what are you doing to my section of the road? And if we're not planning on doing anything, then we ought to say, as far as we're concerned, the road is fine. I'd like to understand what needs to be done for the whole road. And if nothing is to be done, that's
Okay,
an
so Bill,
acceptable answer.
We're talking up from Huntwood, which is the top house
I
on
know.
that road. No, I just want to be clear in my own mind.
Well, I think it goes beyond Huntwood even.
Yeah. Well, isn't there a dead end above Huntwood? Is there another house above there?
I think there is another house above Huntwood.
There is one in between the Adams and Huntwood. There is one And actually, it's the yellow house that you can see from the tennis courts. Their driveway is accessed from Greeley Hill Road.
So you go all the way down, with this $25,000 here, give us a road from above Huntwood, no matter how much far above Huntwood we need, all the way down to Snows Mountain Road where it
No.
merges.
It would
Okay.
go from Snows Mountain Road
Yeah.
to the fire hydrant
Which is
by
where?
the Lorenz house.
Is it before or after the Lawrence house?
It is
On the back corner.
on the back corner of the Lorenz house.
So beyond the house.
It would be
and not up
beyond
to
the
Huntwood.
house. That's correct.
Okay, so this doesn't give us a full road as you asked.
No. Now,
Right, and my
But
concern
now we
is,
have money
what do
coming
we,
from the state.
we have enough money if we want to pave the entire length of that, do the drainage repairs and everything else that need to be done from the fire hydrant to Huntwood, okay?
Yeah.
Just past the driveway, right, Jim?
Right.
Would basically double the cost to about $50,000.
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
Because how do
So-
we say to the people who live in Huntwood, and there's a lot beyond there that I think
No,
is for sale.
there's one,
There's I think there's a lot, if I'm not wrong, that's owned by the Dumpies at the end of that.
You
Yeah.
mean
That's
on the other
serviced-
side
that's
of Robin
serviced by-
Cook's?
yeah, that's.
Is that
yeah,
below?
Robin
It's
Cooks
serviced
is up there
above.
too,
No,
right?
Robin Cooks is on
He's-
Jasinski.
He
Okay,
comes
he's
off
on
of
Jasinski.
And so is the Dunphy property. That would
Okay,
be,
just want to be sure.
yeah,
of this.
that would be
I just
serviced by Jasinski Way,
my question is to the people who live in Huntwood,
yes.
that we're paving your road up to not near your house.
right. Right, now, let me get a couple of other things. I'm reading those two letters that came from the state.
Yes.
There's no requirement the money be spent this year.
No, there is no.
Is there a way to encumber the money
Yes,
so that we can take our time to decide what to do with the whole road and then next year do it and do it right?
yes, the money can be encumbered.
Okay, all
I-
right. So we don't lose it in the budgetary
No,
process or something.
no,
All right.
no. But,
Okay,
but
I just
my-
want to make sure.
Okay, so all I was looking at was, rather than do the patch that you talked about.
Right.
And then go back and basically redo some of where we're gonna patch. Because we had this unanticipated money and the savings that are occurring, one-time savings that are occurring in the highway department this year because of the personnel situation, we have money to be able, and we can make a decision beyond the fire hydrant next year and do the rest of that road paved if that's what we wanna do.
Well, I'd
Um,
like, that's what I'm hoping to get a recommendation
Yeah.
as to what you feel we ought to be doing. I mean, because I think to those people, I realize there's only 2 or 3 of them up there.
Yes,
But for other people who own property up there, I think if they ask the question, well, what are you gonna do with my dirt road?
well,
We ought to be able to answer the question.
I think my recommendation would be that we pave all of it,
Okay,
because maintaining a dirt road
Yeah.
is difficult and plowing it and everything else. So it would definitely be beneficial to pave the
That's
entire
what we're
thing.
talking about, so let's.
Right.
So we do have enough money even to add the 25,000 and do a $50,000 job right now and pave the whole thing,
and
all
why?
the way to Huntwood.
Okay, and the advantage is that we get rid of where Marilyn claims she backs out and falls down in some hole.
Well, we get rid of that, we are having difficulty plowing
Right.
that paved section because it's so rough. We will make it safer with our winter maintenance if we go in and pave that. And we have a contractor who's ready to do the work at this year's price rather than, next year.
Yeah, well,
So where's the other
price would be
25 coming from?
We have a savings of a total,
Oh.
on my sheet, we have a savings
mean
in the
based on-
highway department
Okay,
of about $46,000.
let's look at that savings.
I didn't put that sheet, hold on, let me give you that sheet. It's a personnel thing, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I just had a clarifying question.
But
When we
Here's
originally-
the savings that we will have in the highway
I
department
understand,
this
but
year.
aren't we replacing that position?
Right, except we also have this money available to pay for the replacement
Okay,
this year.
got,
That will go away
now
next year.
I understand
You
that.
see what I
Do
mean?
you-
So
do
we
you
actually have
understand this?
60,000, almost $70,000.
Yeah, I think so.
That because he's gone, we're gonna replace at that price,
Right.
and that's
Yes.
gone completely.
That's gone completely,
Right.
so we can
So
use
that's
that money.
50,000.
Now, my question was, when we originally went out to bid on this project,
Mhm.
we had option 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
If all of those had been done, the entire road would have been paved, is that
No.
correct?
No,
No, it just would've
Only
been,
only up to the fire hydrant.
Right,
Oh,
that's
okay.
the problem.
Okay.
That's right.
And
And
as
I'm
long as we
fine.
have a plan, and I'm not even saying that you can't do just a little section, as long as we have a commit, you know, that we know what we're going to do with the remainder of the road next year. So that we can tell people,
but,
well, ultimately, within, you know, once we get approval and raise the funds, we're gonna fix the whole thing. But you're saying you can get it, you can
We
do
can
it
get
all
it all
now.
done this year, all the way
Well,
through to
then I'm
Huntwood,
okay.
if that's what you,
Then I'm
if
okay.
you're okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather do the whole thing.
I agree with you.
Okay,
All right, do we need a new bid on that?
well, we.
If you're using Dana, you know, I can't imagine that there's a more reliable contractor working
Yeah.
for us. So
Could
I'm
you-
okay with
Could you give me just a maximum number of
50,000?
50,000?
50,000?
55?
no,
55,000.
well, you gotta do it right.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
can't
we will.
just say,
No, we
well,
will.
you know, I'll throw some
No,
asphalt.
no,
Nah,
no,
he
no.
wouldn't do that,
We're
Dana,
gonna,
right?
we're gonna shape the road, we're gonna fix the drainage.
yeah,
And
that's
If you're
why
gonna
we
do
do
it, you gotta do it
That'll include the
reasonably.
hydrant.
It'll do
We
the
have to
hydrant,
do
we
something
gotta
with the hydrant.
replace
All right,
that.
let me throw another monkey wrench into this.
Yeah.
Are we gonna put a new road in there while they're still doing construction and construction vehicles working on Lorenz house?
No, we actually waited, this is waited until they've moved.
All right,
the
no, I
house.
just
Dana,
wanted to-
Dana's
this
doing
is
the
a
site work on,
Dana's doing the site work,
on
so
that.
he
So
won't pave it until he's done.
we could
Just wanna be sure, I just don't wanna
Yeah.
come in and
No,
have.
no, that's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've built
If
a
you're
nice
okay
road
with
all over
55,
again.
we
Yeah.
can work with 55.
Margaret, what do you think?
I think we ought to go ahead and do it this year while we've got him here and he's
All
already gonna do.
All right, can I have a motion to authorize $55,000
I'll
maximum?
make a motion to authorize a maximum of $55,000 to repair, what is the name of this road?
Repair and
Greeley
replace.
Hill.
Repair and replace Greeley Hill Road,
And pave the entire length.
Yes.
pave the entire length, right.
So they're gonna re-sculpt it and get rid of all of
That's,
those,
yeah,
the way the water,
yeah.
I'm gonna second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Okay. Very good, thank you.
all right, let's move
Did
on.
did we actually have a motion to accept the unanticipated funds?
Oh,
We
and,
did not.
no, you did not.
All right,
You need
would someone like to?
I'll make a motion to accept the
Okay.
grant from NDOT for New Hampshire DOT for, what is it?
11,000,
$246. Right.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, do we need a separate motion for the Primex money?
No,
already
you already
did
did.
that.
Already.
you
All
did,
right, okay.
thank you.
All right, Robert Smith Day. Don't know who he is, don't know.
Smitty used to be a
Smitty.
musician, right?
That's right.
So did I,
Smitty
but I'm not getting
musician.
a day.
Well, you might, Mike, you've been
Oh.
chairman of the board. So
You may get a plaque.
This is the proclamation that Tom has requested.
You know,
But
something
you have
I
to
know
wait till
he
he
died.
dies.
Plaque yet.
Oh, really? Oh, it is that Smitty.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Smitty.
All right, I will
It's
make a
Smitty.
motion to proclaim, what day is it going to be?
October 10th.
October
October
10th, 2017.
But
As
Smitty
Robert
hasn't
Smith
played
Day.
here in a long, long time, right?
Well, I guess he's retired.
retiring.
We
He's
will
still
only
retired.
make it half the day. From sunrise to sunset will be Robert Smith Day.
Yeah.
No, going back to the full thing, I will make the motion to proclaim October 10th, Robert Smitty Smith Day. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sign away. Thank you. All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta sign it
So
too.
sign.
Sport Toma sign permit.
Yeah, I wanted to just get Bill's thoughts on this because we are in the process of talking about signage and I didn't know how you wanted to handle this. Usually I just sign this off as approved.
You
'cause
are,
it's
I
an
don't know,
annual
you know,
thing.
this is a temporary sign
Yeah.
and we're under the existing regulations, so
Okay.
sign away.
All right.
We granted you responsibility, right?
Yep, that's fine, but I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that you were all
Yep.
okay with that. Good. I will sign it.
Okay. We'll move to old business.
Well, I have one other thing on the,
Is
well,
there
I
any
don't
new
know whether,
business?
yes, right. I'd like to, my understanding on the upper part of the road, in the private section of the road, up on Moose Run, that as long as we say that the reason we're gonna plow, we're entertaining plowing that, is that because it's a public safety issue. You can't get fire trucks up there, and I for one drove up there last year. I wouldn't want to take a fire truck up there. It's bad.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to see us do as a town is negotiate with the association to see if you can come up with a reasonable price they're willing to pay for us to take over responsibility for plowing that road on an annual basis. It's still private, they'd have to pay, ain't gonna be free. But the existing plowers are doing a terrible job, and they're not gonna be opposed to us doing it for some sum of money. So, how the rest of you feel?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that we have to do something.
So I'd like you to contact the association and see if you can come up with an agreed to price to do it.
Can we act as a private contractor for,
No, I don't have the information right here, but Bill mentioned this to me before, and there are some considerations of the expenditure of public funds to maintain private.
But can we
roads.
get reimbursed? Can we bill?
Well,
I thought one of the criteria was, so the problem is we're doing it now. We're already plowing private pieces of property. Well, Stone Tower Lane and others, some of those
Stone Tower
chunks
Lane,
of those are
absolutely.
not public right of
And
ways.
it's based on public
It's
safety.
out of history.
half of
Public
half
safety
of
as
the
well.
area that
Yeah.
we're plowing is town owned,
Right,
and there is a section that is privately owned.
right.
And it was voted on to be a fire lane. The issue with fire lanes is they cannot be fire lanes cannot be loop roads. They have to go somewhere.
Again, all I'm asking is if we can
Sure.
find a way to
Yes.
accommodate this, because it is the best solution.
Right.
Now, I realize we could come up with a million reasons why we can't do this. But the problem is you couldn't get a fire truck up there last winter, I guarantee you. Because I couldn't get my car barely up there. It was so bad. So I would think if there ever was a fire in the winter, we'd have a real problem with that chunk of property up there at that loop.
Okay, I will.
So we could, what I want to just see is go to the winter. I mean, they're going to have to make arrangements with a snowplow operator now,
Mhm.
and they're struggling. They can't find somebody who wants to do it.
Understood.
Pay a lot of taxes.
All right, so that will be an action item for
Right.
an email.
Okay.
Email within a few days as opposed
Well,
to.
no, I'm more than
Well, it's
willing to
another
wait for
month.
the next meeting.
Well, it's another month before we meet, and if they.
Well, no, it's 2 weeks. I'm okay with
3
2
weeks. It's 3 weeks, but yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we can wait till the next meeting. If
Yeah.
they have anything to report before that time, great. All right, excellent. Anything else in new business, Margaret?
No.
All right, let's move to old business. Let's talk about the USDA project closeout.
We have finally gotten all of the information on the SCADA system that we were waiting for. Our regular SCADA programmer is due here tomorrow, and we're going to go over that with him. As long as he is okay with that, it looks like we're going to be able to release the remaining $2,000.
Okay.
So that is the actual end of the project. Thank goodness.
Okay, when we will have a little
We're gonna have a
victory
celebration.
celebration at the end of that $2,000.
That's right.
Why don't we budget $2,000 for a
And
celebration?
the SCADA system now works?
Right now it's working, but we want our
Good.
programmer to make sure that it's gonna
All right.
All right.
continue.
Well 3 test. How are we doing?
Still waiting for the pump company. They are scheduled to come in, but they have not come in yet to do the replacement of valves and.
But have they run
and
the, they
camera.
snaked the
They
little
have not
camera?
snaked it
They
yet.
haven't done the cameras yet either. Okay, they're
We're
gonna do
just
that
waiting.
all at once?
Yes.
Take the valve out, disengage the pump, take the valve out,
Check it with the camera and then,
check with the camera. If they, hopefully they can get all the way and we don't have to go back to pump house one and break open the pipe and have
Right.
to go that way.
Okay. Road repair projects?
Golden Heights and
Golden
Jennings
Heights and
Peak
Jennings
are
Peak.
paved and done. We do have riprap that we're gonna be putting in at the end of Golden Heights. It's done?
Done.
Okay. So that's,
And all of those came in under budget?
came in
Right on.
right on budget.
Okay.
they did a nice job. I mean, well,
Let's
right now.
let's talk about it again.
Yeah, well, give it 5 years.
Corcoran Pond Dam update.
I still have
No
not
word.
heard.
No
I-
news
I
is
do
good
know
news.
that-
News is good news.
Let's talk about assessing.
They are well into the project and they are starting their visits to they're doing the
Are they
sales.
behind? Is it my imagination or are they behind on this project?
Um,
For some reason, I thought we were going to
no.
start the interviews the first week of September over time. Or am I wrong on that?
We've already had some.
They've already had some meetings. They've done interior inspections.
I was talking about the meetings after the results.
Oh, after the results? No,
When are the results due?
they're due actually at the end of next week.
Okay.
So
right.
I'm not off.
No. So the new assessed values go into the bills that go out in the center.
That's correct. And we won't make the September 1 deadline, but we weren't planning on it. We'll get the MS1 updated
Right,
in
and
time
State
for
has
the
to approve
October. Right.
Okay.
For the October bill.
Okay, now do we have to review and sign something?
Right now,
We have it on the list.
Reviewed and signed, so
Fi-
some-
Filed.
there's all kinds of assessing data. I'd like to talk about a couple of them in non-public,
Okay.
and then you can sign them at the end.
All right. All right. Old business. Anybody else? Bill, you got anything for old business?
No, well, let me just, I sent you an email again on the Peckham thing.
Yes.
My concern is that we may have made a mistake when we granted that building permit, not realizing that I don't know that it's not 35 feet from the road. I don't think he's 35 feet away from the road, but I could be wrong.
It was measured.
Was it
Christmas
measured as
survey,
35?
yeah. He
End
said
of
he asked-
discussion.
We did
That's fine.
ask-
Yeah,
I'm
he
all
went
right.
out and
Now
measured
I'm
it
done.
Off of both lines
Done.
and off the roadway.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the only thing was the roadway,
Okay.
and make sure that he was
Yep.
enough,
Yep.
otherwise we'd have to correct the mistake,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Privilege of the floor number 2.
Nobody's here.
None. Board concerns and directives. How'd your meeting go with the SOE?
It went very well. I'd like to also talk to you about that.
All right. So now, do we have to vote to go into non-public?
Well, no, you have the two. I do want to highlight the two pieces of correspondence.
Oh, sorry.
You've got the letter from Mr. Castillo about the Golden
Yeah.
Eagle. I
Isn't
just
that a planning
I'm
board
bringing.
issue?
Well, no, that's what I'm
Oh.
asking is whether or not.
Well,
You
it's
feel
not,
that it
we
is.
as, because we're in charge of the zoning from the standpoint of compliance,
Enforcement.
he's in full compliance, he's not touching the envelope of the building in any way, he's just converting an inside room to an absolute allowed use. I mean, there's no
Okay.
question that's an allowed use. I don't think he's done anything.
Okay, as
Right.
long as that's what
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
board. I just want to make sure you were okay with.
Yeah,
any-
I mean, you want to touch base with Terry, but I think it's our decision anyway as Board of Selectmen, not
Well,
the
you would.
planning board.
What I'll do is I'll respond to him,
Yeah,
and I'm going to copy Terry as
Yeah,
a notice so that it can come up at the planning board.
right, yeah. He's not changing the building.
No, he's not.
And not likely that that kind of a change would radically affect the parking or anything.
Nope.
There's no reason
Okay,
to go through any
Good.
kind of review.
great.
Okay.
And then the USDA meeting is tomorrow night at the Campton Town
I
Hall.
saw that.
This project does involve Waterville Valley with a new mountain bike trail potentially, and with cleanup at the 2 campgrounds. So there is Waterville Valley involvement, somewhat.
If I
obliquely.
can get there, I'll go.
Yeah, I right now I have time
But
on my
I don't
schedule
know if I
for
can
those
get there.
plans.
I won't know until
And
tomorrow.
there's some extensive stuff that's being done in Campton, so
Well, and there was some stuff, and I guess I would look for some
Mhm.
support. I was gonna contact, Brookton District Ranger about the
Yeah.
condition of Triple I Road, the first quarter mile from West Branch. Any more erosion, we're gonna have a hard time getting an ambulance up there.
Right.
I thought
and
they were committed this summer to scraping off the remaining.
we thought they were gonna do
Thought
that
so
too.
too. I was going to follow up with an email. I took some pictures
Good.
showing
Yeah.
the concerns.
We need to go down and say we are
Do that.
concerned that that road's not being effectively maintained.
And
Mhm.
certainly support from you guys,
Yeah.
from the board for that, but I can certainly initiate it from a public safety standpoint. Just,
That's a
lead to
good
them
start,
to
and we
get
can
that.
talk to them during that meeting.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll be there, Bill, if you.
If I can, if I'm not busy tomorrow night,
Sure.
I will get there.
Because I just think it does have.
And I
impact on
assume it's
us.
down at Campton.
It's Campton Town Hall, the new building there by the fire station.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So I'm planning on going
Okay.
also.
Good.
All right. And that's it.
All right. Thanks. We're going to non-public now.
Okay, hold on.
My teammates need to say Margaret.
Recycle.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
You don't need to-
You'll talk to Dana and talk to me tomorrow, Jim?